Let's do it. Attaboy. Talk to me, Antonio. 50? Is that you? 60. 60 cents. And 60 and 70. They're taking 70, 80. They're taking 80, 90. They're taking $90. Dollar. They're taking $1. 90 cents a dollar. 90 cents a dollar. 10. $10. $10. $10. $10. Burns. $1. 4. 3. 3. I can't really see that far. Can you? Good. That's a nice way to start the cow sale. Well, did you see that?
Yes, sir. We got pretty good bull. Pretty good bull.
And the gap bull, $1.50, $1.50, and 2, you're to get a 2, you're to get a 4, you're to get a 6, you're to get 8, you're to get 60, you're to get a 2.5, you're to get 5, you're to get 7.5, 70, you're to get 72.5, and 5, you're to get 77.5, $80, $80, $82.5, 82.5, and 180, 250, 180, 250, 180, 255, 185, 182.5, you're to get 5, you're to get 3, 5, 187, 187, Gary Thielen, you're out, $1.87. $1.87. So $1.85. Yes, 16. 16. $1.50, $1.50, $1.50, you're to get now $1.50, you're to get 50, you're to get 50, you're to get 2, you're to get 4, you're to get 6, you're to get 8, you're to get $1.58, 60, and 2, you're to get a 2, 4, you're to get a 4, 6, 66, 68, 68, 70, $1.72, and 4, you're to get 74, 76, 76, $74, 76, 74, 76, and 6, 8, and $78, $78, $79, you're to get 9 here, 9 there, what to get 9, and 78, $9, $78, 9, hold, $78, put them on number 7. Lots of what? Lots of cheeseburger. $1.70, $1.70 now 2, you're to get 4, you're to get a 6, you're to get 8, you're to get 80, you're to get 80, you're to get 2.5, 85, 85, 85, 87.5, 87.5, $1.85, 87.5, 90, $1.90, $1.90, 88, 9, you're to get 89, you're to get 88, 9, 89, 98, $1.90, $1.90, you're to get $1.89, $1.90, $1.90, $1.90, $1.90, hold, $1.89, number 7. $1.70, $1.70 now 2, you're to get 172, you're to get now $2, you're to get now 2, you're to get 72, and 4, you're to get 76, 76, 8, 78, $80, $80, 82, 82, 84, 84, 84, 84, 6, 86, 86, 8, 88, 88, 88, $88, $88, $88, $88, $88 here, Gibbon, $86, Bull X, Bull X. A what?
A little flat tire.
Flat tire. Yep. $1.35, $1.35, I get 7 half, I get 7 half, I get 7.40, $1.40, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 7 half, 50, $1.52 and a half, I get 2 and a half, 5, I get 7 half, I get 7 half, 7 half, 60, at 162 and a half, and 2 and a half, 5, and 5, I get 5, I get 2 and a 5, I get 5, 62 and a 5, 5, 5, 7 half, and 67 and a half, now 70, $1.70, $1.70, $1.70, I get 70, I get 70, I get 70, hold, $1.67 and a half, put them on 6. Yeah. $1.50, $1.55, and 55, $5, $5, 60, $5, 65, $65, and $5, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75, sir, 77 and a half, $77 and a half, sir, 80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, represent Cavaness, $77 and a half, Cavaness, boo. $1.70, $1.72 and a half, and 70, $2 and a half, $2 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 77 and a half, 80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.77 and a half, $80, $1.80, $1.80, $1.80 here, 80 there, hold, $1.77 and a half, but almost 7. $1.70, $1.70, not 2 and a half, $1.72 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 80, $80, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 85, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, $90, $90, $90, 92 and a half, 92 and a half, 95, $1.95, 92 and a 5, 92 and a 5, 92 and a 5, 93, 5, and 95, 93, 95, 95, 93, 95, yeah, Lou, and 95, 95 here, you're over to Gibbon, 193, put them on bull. Okay. $1.50, $1.50, at 52, you're going to $2, you're going to 2, you're going to 4, you're going to 60, you're going to 56, 56, 58, you're going to $8.60, $1.60, you're going to 2, you're going to 2, you're going to 4, and 4, you're going to 64, you're going to 2, now 4, and 2, you're going to 4, 6, 66, 68, here to give 8, here to give 8, now 70, $1.70, both out here 70, $1.68, 70, $1.68, 70, you're going to get 70, hold, $1.68, put them on number 7. Is that him? $1.35 out of 135, out of 135, 35, 35, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7.40, $1.42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50, $1.52 and a half, I think 2 and a half, 5, at 55, 7 and a half, I think 60, $1.60, I think 60, I think 60, $1.60, $1.57 and a half, 60, sold, 157 and a half, S16. You think? $1.50, $1.50, $1.50, either that 50, either to get 2 and a half, $1.50, either to get 2 and a half, or to get 2 and got a bad face? Ugly face? Most old white people have bad faces. $1.10. 20 cents a pound. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1, 10, 20, 30, 125, 30, 135, 40, 140, 135, 40, D, 135, D, Bull X. I started at $1, y'all didn't bid, so what the hell are you hollering at me now for? Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, it'll take $1.50, $1.50, two and a half, $1.50, it'll take two and a half, it'll take $1.50, two and a half, it'll take two and a half, it'll take 52 and a half, $1.50, two and a half, who bid two and a five, and seven and a half, it'll take 60, and 60, it'll take two and a half, it'll take two and a half, it'll take 60, it'll take two and a half, $1.60, two and a half, here, hold, $1.60, put them on number 7. How much? $1.95, $1.97 and a half. $1.95, 97 and a half. $2, 2.2, 2.4, 5, 5. 205, 2045. So 204. Give it a bull. $1.75, $1.75, at $1.75, very good, 5, very good, 5, at $1.75, 75, 75, 75, 75, at $1.75, $50, $1.50, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 2 and a half, very good, 5, at 57 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, 5, at 7 and a half, 70, 2 and a half, 5, very good, 7 and a half, 80, and 2 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 182 and a sold, 180, Chris, 9. He's not. The other one's sold.
He's been semen and trick tested.
This bull is semen tested. He's trick tested. He'd be just perfect to go put on a set of heifers. What else you need to say about him? Making them stories coming up over here. $1.50, $1.55, I get that 55, I get 5, I get 5, I get 5, I get 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 60, I get 62 and a half, 5, I get 5, I get 5, I get 5, 65, and 2 and a half, I get 5, I get 2 and a half, 3, 4, and 64, 5, I get 5, I get 5, I get 5, 6, and 66, 7, I get 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 7, and 7, I get sold 166. That'll be Cavendish bull. Okay, got thin bull right there. Got bull here, $1.50, $1.50, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 5, I get 55, 7 and a half, I get 60, I get 2 and a half, I get 2 and a half, I get 2 and a half, 62 and a half, $1.02 and a half, 5, and 5, I get 7, I get 9, I get 69, I get 69, and 67, 9, 70, $1.70, I get 70, Lush out 171, 71, 71, and 1 sold 170 cab bull. Big balls, bulls. $2. $1.50. 60. $1.60. 70. 80. 90. 2. $2. 195. 2. 2. 195. 2. Chris, 195. 9. $1.65 at 65, I get 7 and a half, I get 70, I get 2 and a half, 5, 75, 7 and a half, I get 7 of $80, $80, 82, 82, 82, 182, 4, 84, I get 6, 86, 86, 86, 86, here 8, 88, 88, 88, I get $1.88, $1.88, $1.88, $1.88, hold, $1.86, hold 7. Just have one cow today. There's more cows. Okay. $1.70, $1.72, and two. Enter to get two, enter to get four, enter to get 74, 6, 8, 78, $80, 82, 84, enter to get 6, 86, 8, 88, here, 88, 90, at 192, 92, 92, 94, 94, 94, 95, 95, 95, and 90. 94 and 5, enter to get 94 and 5, 94 and 5 here. Everybody giving bull, 194, giving bull. Dollar bill, 2.5, at 109, 2.5, at 102 and a half, 5, at a 7.5, 10, 110, 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half, 20, at a 122 and a half, at a 5, at a 5, at a 5, at 7 and a half, at a 7, 30, at a 130, 130, 130, 131, 131, 131, 131, 2, at a 131, 2, 31, 2, 3, 33, 34, at 35, at a 135, at a 135, 6, at a 136, 135, 36, $7, at a 137, at a 7, at a 7, at a 7, at 7, at a 7, Jerry, 136, Jerry, put him on Jerry, 5. What'd you say? 5 cents, 6 cents, 5 cents, 6 cents, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 and a half, 5, 27 and a half, 30, 32 and a half, 5, 37 and a half, 40, 42 and a half, 5, 47 and a half, 50, 52 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 60, 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 70, 2 and a half, 5, 75. Can't stand no big jumps now. 72 and a 5, 72 and a 5. So 72 and a half, little Chris, 14. I think he can make it one more year, don't you? Don't make it. $1.25, $1.25, 125, 7 and a half, 30, 32 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, 35, 7 and a half, $40, $40, 42 and a half, and 45, 47 and a half, 7 and a half, 50, $1.52 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 5, 52 and a 5, 52 and a 5, 7 and a half, $1.57 and a half, 60, and 2 and a half, 162 and a half, 2 and a 5, and 5, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, and a cab and a half, cab, 165 cab. Bull. $1.30. $32 and a half, $32 and a 5, $32 and a 5, I get 7 and a half, I get 40, I get 2 and a half, I get 5, I get 7 and a half, 50, and 50, I get 50 over here, 50 over here, 50, $1.50, I get 47 to 50, 48, 9, and 49, I get 8, 9, I get 8, 9, I get 8, 9, I get 8, 9 here, that's 148D, 148D1, 148D1. $1.20, $120 now, 2 and a half, at a 120, at a 2 and a half, at a 120, 120, 122 and a half, at a 122 and a half, at a 122 and a half, at a 125, at a 7 and a half, 30, at a 2 and a half, at a 5, and 7 and a half, at a 137 and a half, sir, 7 and a half, 35, 7 and a half, and 7 and a half, sold 135, put them on gray 5. Okay. Nice cows right there, $1.50, $1.50, and 50, and I get 2 and a half, and I get 152 and a half, and I get 2 and a half, 150, and I get 2 and a half, 152 and a half, and 150, and I get 2 and a half, and I get 152 and a half here, and I get 2 and a half here, 2 and a 5, and 5, 6, 156, 57, and 58, and I get 59, and 60, and 1, and I get 1, and I get 1, 2, and 2, 3, and I get 3, and I get 3, and 4, and I get 5, and I get 65, and I get 6, 66, 66, and 65, 6, here, the book 65, nothing. 165, book nothing. Thank you. That's all I need to hear. That's fine. Get ready. Here they come. Gank cows, guys. Gank cows. 135 at 135. 7.5. Vertical 7.5. 30, 40. $42.5. 5. Vertical 47.5. 50. $1.50. Vertical 7.5. 8 and 48. Vertical 8. Vertical 8. Vertical 9. Vertical 49. Vertical 50. $1.51. Vertical 51. 52. Vertical 3 and 3. Vertical 4. Vertical 4 5 and 55. Vertical 5. Vertical 5. Vertical 5. 54 5. Vertical 5 D. 154 D. Put them on 1. $1 a quarter, $1.25, 125, vertical 125, 7.5, vertical 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, vertical 7.30, 131, 132, 133, 133, 132 and 3, 132 and 3, 133 and 4, and 34 and 5, 35, $6, 7, and 7, 8, 39, 41, vertical 2, vertical 2, and 41, 2, 3, 43, 44, and 44, vertical 44, Jerry 5, 143, Jerry number 5. $35 and 135, vertical 35, 35, 35, 35, 7.5, vertical 7.5, 35, 37.5, vertical 7.5, 35, 37.5, and 37.5, vertical 7.5, 35, 37, and 40, $40, $40, 40, vertical 40, and 41, and 42, and 42, vertical 41, 2, 3, vertical 43, 4, and 44, 5, vertical 45, 45, 45, 45, cab, $44, cab straight, $44, cab, nothing. Where'd the baby calf girl go? She been here all morning. There she is. I couldn't find you up there. I thought you was up there on your pedestal. What do you give, Kelsey?
He's already taken the ball.
He's already taken the bottle.
Hi, John. We start at 10.
150. 160. 160. 160, 70, 180, 180.
No, he's saying, is this his calf?
What?
Yes.
What? He's asking what? Is this your calf? Okay, 180. Okay, $8, 180. 190. 200. My man's in, you're out. 210. Takes a while to sell a baby calf, don't it, Vernon? 210, 20. 220. 220. Internet's in.
What's going on? What happened?
220.
Is that by the head or by the pound?
I don't care. However y'all do it. 220. Yeah, I think you do. So 210. Internet.
Barnhart said, get up there.
So Kevin Peck, is that by the head or
By the head.
Well, looks like you're going to be on a roller coaster ride straight up for a while. Put all our heater steers.
What are we going this way for?
Still trying to get the baby calf.
Oh, still get. I see.
Five by four.
5 years old. You got another cow? A 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. And they're 4 months bred. 1,500. 1600, 1700, 1800, 1900, 2000, 21 and a half, 2 at 3, 23, 24, enter to get 2400 at 23, 24, 5 at 25, 600 and 27, enter to get 7, 8, enter to get 8 here, enter to get 2800 and 27, 28, 27, 8, 9 and 29, over to get 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 3 at $3,000 at $3,000 and 29, 3, 29, 3, 29, 3, Tad, 3. Here. You get them all home?
Got him home. Back on the roost. Back on the roost. You're gonna be late tomorrow? All right.
Austin White cows here, 120. 121 and 21, 20, 21, 121, 21, 21, 2, we get 3 and 4 and 5 and 25, going to be 6, 7 and 27 of 8, 27 of 8, going to be 9, we get 30, going to be 30, we get 31, 32, 31, 2, 3 and 33 to 4, 2, going to be 34 to 5 here, 36 here, 35, going to be 6, 7 and 37 of 8, 37 of 8, 7 of 8, 7 of 8, 7 of 8, going to be 9, going to be 9, 40 there, 41 and 41, 2, 41, 2 there, 3, 43, 44 and 44 to 5 here, 45, 45, 6 here, 46, 7 and 47, going to be 8, now 9, we get 9, going to be 9, going to be 9, 9 and 50 and 150 there, now 1 and 50 down 2, going to be 52, 3, 53, we get 52, 3 and 52, 53, 52, going to be 3, 52, going to be 3, we get 53, we get 53, Booker, 152, nothing. 120, 21, and 21, 20, 21, 21, 21, 23, we get 35, and 25, going to be 7, 29, 125, we get 31, we get 33, we get 35, going to be 7, 37, 9, 39, 39, 41, and 41, 35, and 45, 47, 49, going to be 9, 9, 50, 1, and 51, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, going to be 2, 51, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, Chris, 151, 13. Cat market got a little higher since I've been here. Yeah. Had to go pick up the fam from the airport. I tried to get him the Uber, but 35, yeah, 35, 35, 35, 35, 7 man, 37 man, 37 man, 37 man, 35, 37 man, 40, 42 and a half, 5, 45, 45, 7 and a half, 50, and half, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, here now 2 and a half, 52 and a half. What about 1? 51, and 51 here, another 1, 51, 51, 51, 51, Jigabon, 51 here, sold 150, cabinets, nothing. Is that you that's got the boat in the back of the pickup? Well, it's a boat. Oh, looks like a boat to me. They look young and they're bred.
4-year-olds, 5 and 7.
They're 4 years old. Who are you working on? Brainerd's out there at
5 to 8.
Canadian. 5 to 8 months, and they're young guys right there. Going to be 1,500, 15 and a half, 15 and a half, 16, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17, 18, 19, 92, and 2000, and 2000, 2, 19, 2, and 2, 1, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 100, and 2, 22, 22, now 3, 23, 3, 93, and 23, 300, going to be 23, 3, 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 and 23, 3, and 23, 3, and 23, 3, going to be 23, 3, going to be 23, 3. Chris, 2,200 on 3. Here comes a 5 and 6 years old. They're 5 to 7 months red. 1,500, 15 and a half, 15 and a half, here and a half, 16, and 16 and a half, here, 17, we get 17, but 17, we get 17, going to be 1,700, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, here, now 18, here, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, here, 18 and a half, and 19, but 19, we get 19, 50, and 19 and a half, here, not 2, and 2,000, and 2,000, 50 and a half, here, half 1, and 21, 21, 21, 21 and a half, here, 21, 50, and 21 and a half, now 2, and 2200 and a half here, bit of a half here, going to be 2250, and 20, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 22 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, bit of a half here, going to be 2250, get 22 and a half here, bit of a half here, bit of a half here, so 2200. Chris 3, same way. 8 years old, 5 to 7 months here, right there, 1250 and 1250. You 12 and a half here, have and a half here, going to be 13, have and 14, have and 15, 1500 and a half, and 16 is 1600 here, have and a half here, going to be 1600 and a half here, the 17, a half, and 700 and a half, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 18 and 19, bit of 19, bit of 19, bit of 19, going to be 1900 and 19 and a half, and 19 and a half here, half here, going to be 2000, 2000 here, 2000, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, you're out, Jared, 2000 here, going to be 2000. Paul, and 2000, and 2000, going to be 2000, able to get 2000 online, going to be 2, and 2000, able to get 2000, able to get 2000, able to get 2000, going to be 2000, able to get 2000, able to get 2. Chris, 1950 on 55. Good. Here's the open cows. 3 and 4 year olds. They're 3s and 4s, and they're all open. Give them another chance, guys. $1.50. 155, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, outside, 55, 55, 55, 55, get 50, now 5, now 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, you get 5 here, 55, 2 and a 5, and 57, 57, going to be 60, going to get 60, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 62 and a half, bit of a going to be 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 5, and 5, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, and half 70, going to get 70, going to get 70, going to get 70, going to get 70, going to be 70, going to get 70, S, 167.50 on 21, S21. How many cows we got today? 500? 4 or 5? 800? 125, 25, 25, 25, 25, 27, 32 and a half, 35, 37, 37, going to be 42 and a half, 45 here, 45, 43, 43, 43, 44 there, 40, 45 here, 45, you get 5, 6, and 7, and 47, 7, 7, 7, going to be 9, 50, 50, and 51, and 51, 2, 1, 2, 3, 54, 5, 5, 6, and 5600, and 55, 56 here, 5, 600 here, 5, going to be 6, cabinets, 155, nothing. $4-year-old, $1.50. 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 2 and a half, and 52 and a half, bit of a 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, 62 and a half, 5, and has it get 7 and a half, 70, 70, has 70, and 70 back to you, and 70, 73, 73, going to be 70, 70, Chris, 67 and a half, 8X. Bred bad bag cow. 8-year-old, 5 months, $1.20. 125, 25, 25, 25, 25, 30, 32, 2 to half, 35, 37, 37, going to be 42 and a half, 45, 47, 47, 50, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 3, 4, and 54 here, 5, 55, 55, 655, going to be 656, 7, and 57, 56, 7, and 7, 7, 7, going to be 56, 7, and 57, 7, going to be 7, 57, Gibbon, 156, Gibbon. $125. And 25, 30, and 25, it'll get 30 here, 125, it'll get 30, 25, it'll be 30, it'll get 30, 25, it'll be 30, it'll get 35, 35, 35, 45, 45, 45, 50, and 5, and 55, 60, 160, 160, 160, John, 160, and 65, and to get 5, and has to get 5, to get 70, it'll get 70, 170, 175 here, 75 there, 80, 85 there, going to be 85, 85, and 90, going to be 95, 95, 95, 92, and 205, going to be 210, going to be 210, and 15, 50, 20, and 220, 220, but 20 there, going to be 220, out up here, 220, and 20, but 20 there, going to be 20, 20 there, going to be 20, Chris, 215, 3X. 125. You 27 and a half. Have a hand and 27 and 27 and 27 and 27 and going to be 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 40 and 40, 40 there. Going to be 40, 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 37 and 40 and 40. Now 2 and a half, now 40, now 2 and a half, 40, now 2 and a half. Going to be 40, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 42 and a half. Sold 140. What's the name? Have no idea what he said. Jason. What's the last initial? Jason S. Thank you. Jason C is going to be, what in the heck did you buy me? 42 and a half, 5. Yeah, 45 and a half, 45, 45, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 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 45, 47 and a half, 50 and 2 and a half, and 55, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, 55, 57 and a half. Here, book 155. Ten years and 5 months. 35. Yeah, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, 40, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 42, 50, and 40, we get 2 and a half, going to be 40, we get 2 and a half, going to be 40, we get 2 and a half. Here, Canis, 140. Khalid. 45 and 45, 5 and 45, 47, 45, 47, 47, 50, 50, 10, 2 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, here, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, Booker, 52 and a half, sorry, 152 and a half, Booker. My bad, John. Unbelievable. Get Dad back up here. $2. 2.5 and 2.5. Get 5 here. Now 5 and 5 and 5. Get 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 5. 205. Got you 205 and 205. Get 5 here. Now 5 and 5 and 5. Get 5. Get 5 and 5. 10. Go to be 2. 10. Go to be 2. 10 and 15 and 15. 215. 215. Want it open. 215. 20. 5. 30. 230. Go to be 30. 225. To get 30. 225 to get 30. Chris, 225, 7X. Yearling, $1.50. 55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, here, 55, 55, 60, and now 60 there, going to be 60, 5, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, here, 5, here, 5, here, now 70, and 75, 80, 5, 90, 100, 90, 90, 90, 90, hike, 185 on 5. Hike 5. $220, 225, and 225, and 225 of 5 here, now 30, we get 35, 35, 35, 40, we get 40, we get 5, we get 50, we get 50, 250, and 45, we get 50 there, 45, we get 50, 45, we get 50, here, Chris, 245, 7X. Friday, they competed Friday, had one of the top 10 scores of the whole dadgum thing, the whole shebang, top 10 scores, they did amazing. Friday for cheer, yeah. $1.50. 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, and 50, we get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, going to be 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, you done? 55 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, D, 152 and a half on 2. They had, that was Orlando. So they did unbelievable Friday. So Saturday they had off, went 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, halfway through their routine, everything was going great, and they dropped Collins. And then they said you just took the life out of the everybody just went dead silent. She's brave. 35, 35, 7 by 5, 35, 35, 37, 37, 35, 37, 40, 40, that 2.5, 42.5, 45, 47, 47, 47, 50, and 50, get your man, and 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 60 now, do 2.5, going to get 2.5, bit of a going to be 2.5, he's out now, 2.5, get 2.5 here, half here, half here, sold, 160, Booker. 2-year-old, $75.80. Yeah, $75.80 here, $75.80 here, $75 going to be 80 now, $75 going to be 80, $75 going to be 80 now, $75 80, and $75 going to be 85, 85, 85, and 90, 90, 95, 95, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, 5, going to be 205, 10, 210, 15, 20, and 220, and 20 bit 20, going to be 20 bit 20, going to be 20, going to be 20, going to be 20 bit 20, sold 215, 7X. Chris is the first name. Feel good today, if y'all haven't noticed. Yeah. Had a week, no wife. Yeah. Coys, sell cows, please. 35, and 35, 35, 35, 37, 40, and 42.5, 45, 47, 47, 47, 52.5, 52.5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, yeah, 35, and 55, 7, and 55, going to be 7 here, 6, 5600, and 55, 56 here, 5, going to be 6, 7, and 57, 56, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, going to be 7 here, going to be 7 here, going to be 7, so 156, Booker. Two-year-old, she's red, she's roan, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 5, and 65, 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 95, 95, 99, now 2, and down 2, good to be 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 2, now 5, good to be 205, good to be 205, good to be 205, showtime, $2 on 10. Four-year-old cow here, $1.50. 52.5, and 50, we get 2.5, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 2.5, 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, here, cabinets, 155. Troy, what you been doing? Is it Troy or Ty? I don't know. Is it Troy? It's Troy. That's what I thought. Fishing. Get that boat. Get that big old boat. Here's a little old 3-year-old week project. $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, now 5, and to get 70, we get 70, going to be 5, going to be 80, going to be 5, going to get 90, going to get 5, going to get 2, going to be 5, going to be 10, going to be 15, and 20, and 20, and 20, 20, there, going to be 20, 20, there, going to be 20 here, height to 15 on 5. 35, 35, 37, 37, 42, 45, 45, 47, 47, 45, 47, 40, 47, 50, and now 2.5, and 52 and a half here. What about 1? 51, and 50, 51, 2, 3, 53, 4, and 54, 54, 54, 53, 54, 53, down 4, Rob, yeah, 53, 4, and 53, 54, 53, 54, and 53, 54, $4, here, Cavanus, 153, hum 3, 153, Cavanus 3. What's your hat say, Antone? Morgan Shep. Oh, yeah? 50. 52 and a half. 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 2 and a 5, and 55, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, now 70, and 2 and a half, and 71, and 71, 71, 71, 71, 71, 71, 72, 71, 2, 71, going to be 2, 3, and hand 2, 3, and 72, now 3, 3, and 3, and 3, 72, 3, Booker, 172 on book. Yeah, I see that. Oh, yeah. 2-year-old, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 5, 80, 5, 90, 95, and 2, and 2 and a 5 here, 5, going to be 2, 5, and 2 and a 5, and 10, going to be 2, 10, going to be 2, 10, 2, 10, 2, 10, going to be 10, Jerry, 205, 22. I think she's already, was she open? It's Monday, Jerry. Shepherd? Yeah.
It's his wife.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see the shepherd, yeah. I see the camera, too.
His wife is the one who takes the picture.
Yeah. 52 and a half. You two and a half here. 2 and a half. 2 and a half. 2 and a half. 2 and a half. 52, 50 and 5 and 55, 55, 75, 57, 57, 62 and a half. 2 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 and a half. You're out now. 5. Now 5. 7 and a half. 67 and a half. 67 and a half. D. 165. 1. 25, 25, and 25, 25, 27, and 27, and 27, and 27, and going to be 25, 27, and going to be 27, 50, and 30, and 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 32, and 30, and 2 and a half, 5, and 35, 37, and 37, and 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 47, and 47, and 47, and 47, 50, 47 and a half here, half here, 47 and a half here, hack, 145, 5. 25, 25, 27, 25, 27, 27, 27, going to be 27, 50, 27 and a half here, and a half here, half here, and 30, we get 32 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, 40 and a half, 40 and a half, 40, 40, and 42 and a half, and 5, and 45, 45, 45, 47, and 47, and 47, and 47, and 47, and 47, 50, 47 and a half here, 40, we get 7 and a half here, 47 and a half here, that's 145, 4. 10 years and she's 8 months bred. Guys, right there, you're going to be 1750. Yes, 17 and a half here. Half and a half here. 18 and a half. Going to be 19 and a half. Going to be 19 and a half and 2. And 2,000. And now 2. Going to be 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 2,050. And 20, 50, 50, and 1. And 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100 here. Going to be 2100 out of line. 2100. Here, 2100 here. Half. And 21 and a half here. 2150. Now 2. And 22 and a half here. 300. Now 3 and a half. And 23 and a half here, half here, yeah, Paul, 23.50. You 23 and a half here, half here, and half here, half. Hike 2,300 on 1. 7 by 8. 7 years and 8 months, guys, right there. You're going to be 1750 and 17 and a half. It's 17 and a half here. 18, 19, 2, 1, 21, 21, 22, and 22, and 3, 23, 23, 24, 25, 25, 25, 24 to 5, and 24, 5, and 24 to 500, and 24 and a half here. 4 and a half, 4 to 5, and 25, 25, 25, 2,500, 2,500, 5 and a half, 4 and a half, 5, and 25, and 2,500, 2,500 here. Going to be 2,500, going to be 2,500, going to be 25, going to be 100. Sold 24 and a half. Flying Bee. I have no idea what number you want them on this week. She was 10 by 8. 1. Thank you, William. Six-year-old cow. 35, and 35, and 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, and 37, and 37, going to be 40, 45, now 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, this size, all have 55, 60, and half 5, and 65, 70, 75, and 75, 80, 85 here, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, going to be 85, William going to be 85, now 90, and 95, and 95 here, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, you're out on line, 95, and 90, 95 here, going to be 195 here, 195, 95 here, so 190. Chris 3X. Pretty good cow here, gentlemen. Here's an 8-year-old. She's 7 months bred. 17, 18, 1,700, and 17 and a half here, 18, 19, 2, 1, 21, 21, 2, and 22, 3, and 23, 24, 25, 25, you get 5, and 24, 5, and 24, 5, you get 24 and a half, 500 and a half, 5, 625, 625, going to be 6, sold her 2,500, Flying Bee 1. I got a whole. 6-year-old, 6 months. 1700 and 1718 and 1718 18 17 118 1800 18 18 19 19 2 21 21 21 21 2 and half 3 half 4 and half 5 and 25 2600 and 26 7 and 6 7 and 7 7 7 out of line 2700 and 7 7 6 7 and 27 and 7 7 7 700 going to be 2700 and 2700 I sold her 2600 Chris 3. 8-year-old, and she's 8 months bred. 2,000 and 2050. 20 and a half here. 1, half, 2, half, 3, half, 4, half, and 5 and 2,500 and 2,500 here. 5 here. What about you, William? Now 5 and 25 and 25 and 2550. 25 and a half here. 5 and a half here. Going to be 25 and a half here. 5 and a half. Going to be half. Flying B. 2,501. Don't really care. Didn't even think about it until you brought it up. Thank you, Taylor. I was, yeah. Now I'm starting to sweat again. You're a rough-looking bull. $1. 105 and 105 here. You're going to be 105. Get 5. 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 Get 5 here. $5 now 10, 15, 20 and 21, 20 now 5 and 25, 25, 25, 25, 20, 30 now 30 now 30 now 30 here 35 and 35, 40 and now 45. You get 45, 50 and $55, 55, 55, 55, 60 and now 60 there. Going to be 60. John, you're out 60 there. Going to be 60 here. Chris 155.9. $45, yeah, 45, now 45, 45, 47, 45, 47, 45, 47, 47, 47, 50, and now 50, 50, now 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 2 and a half, 5, and 55 and 5, now 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, $55 now, 55, 55, Booker, 152 and a half. Good looking bull. Only got one. Only got one underneath there. That's all you need. $1.50. $55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 62 and a half, 65, 65, 65, 7 and a half, now 70, 70, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, 177 and a half, 177.50, 77 and a half here, 77 and a half here, 175.16. 5 and 6 years old, guys, right there, 135. Yeah, 35, 35, 37, 37, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47, 50, 50, 50, 58, now 9, now 9, going to be 8, now 9, 15, come on, and 51, 51, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, now 3, and 52, 3, 52, 53, 53, out on line, 52, 3, 4, 54, Jiggy 4, took him right ahead of him, 4, 5, 55, William, 56, 55, 56, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 168, 168. Sold him 167. Flying B, what number, William? 3. 6, 7, 8-year-old cows here, 125, E27.50, E27 and a half, 30, 2 and a half, and 5, and 37, 37, going to be 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, going to be 40, 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 47, 47, 50, and 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, all the majors are out, 55 and 5, and 55 and 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, sold 152 and a half, Jason S. Already on the family? Here's a 5-year-old pair. I wonder why they call them pairs. Pairs doesn't look like a. You get about 1,500. You better put me in. 2,000, 2,100, 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2100, and 2100, and 2100, and 2100, and 2100, and 22, and 22, 22, 21, 22, 21, 22, 21, going to be 200, going to be 21, going to be 203, and 23, 4, and 24, 24, 24 to 5 here, 25, give that 24 and a half. What about a half? What about a half? 5, 2,500, 2,500, and 20, going to get 500, going to be 20, going to get 500, going to be 2,500, going to be 2,500, and 2,500 here, 5, going to get 5, going to get 5, going to get 5 here, Hall, 24 and a half, Neil Hall. Hall. Neil. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Hey. 2 years old or 7 and 8 months. Sell that deal. Be 105 of these cattle all together. Here's a Pierce consignment we're working on. Here's a nice set of cows. Bred to black bulls, ain't they? Usually have black calves. All right, right there. You're going to be heavy, heavy red right there. Here, 2,000 here, 1 and 2,100. You get 21 and 20 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, 2 and 3, 4 and 24 and a half, 5 and 25, 5,600 and 26 and a half here, half here, half here, half and 26 and a half and 26 and a half here, half and a half here, and a half here. Be online going to be half, 26 and a half and 26 and a half here, half and a half here, half 7 and 27 and a 7 and a half and 27 and a half here. Where are they at? 27.50. You 27 and a half here, half and a half here. You're going to be 27.50. You 27 and a half here, half here, half here. You'll be able to half here and a half here. So 2,700. Chris 3.
10 by 4.
Older cows are 4 months bred. Yep. Older cows are 4 or 5 months bred. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2,000, 2,002, and 2, and 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2, and 2,000, 2,000, Randy, you bidding? Sold him at 19.50. Chris 15. If you guys need some calves, it'll be about 70 calves tomorrow off this string of cows. That could bring something. That could bring more than cows. $35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, going to be 40, 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 50, and 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 57, 57, 57, 57, 56, 7, and 57, and 56, 7, and 7, 7, 56, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 56, 7, and 50, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, $8, and 57, how 8 here, 9, 9, and how 9 here, 9, 9 here, 9 here, 9, you done? 159. Sold him 158 Cavernous. Hi, Bob. A 3-way split. We're going to weigh them 3 times. Be a draft of 55. Working on the Pierce cows. Be 55 of them. Remember, we used to have about 10 or more. We'd have to send a picture. Looks like they're going to be from 5 to 10 little set of old feeding cows. getting out of the business, Pierce? Taking advantage of the market?
Buying younger cows back. I've seen.
Yeah, I don't like it.
All right, they're all going to go, guys. All 55 of them here. 125 and 25 and 25 and 25, 27 of them. Going to be 32 and a half, 35, 37 of them. Going to be 40, 40, 40. Did you get 40 here? 142 and a half, 5 and 45, 47 of them, 47 of them, 50 and now 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, now 50 there. You're going to be 5 oh, now 9 and now 9. Going to be 9, going to be 9, 50 and 141 and 50, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 52, 3, 53, 53, 53, 53, 3, 4 and 54, 53, 4 and 53, 54, 53, 54, 53, 54, now 53, 4, 5 and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, now 5 and 54 and 5 here, 5, 5 here, 5, Chris, 154 on 13. Daughter, 105 and 105 here. Going to be 105, 5 and 10. Going to be 110 and 15 and 15, 21, 21, 25 and 25, 21, 25 and 30, 30, 30, 25. Going to be 35 here, 35, 35, 35 here, 35 and daughter 35, 35 here, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, sold 130 Cavex. $35 and 35 and 35, 35, 40 and 35, 40, 40, 45 and 45, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 95, 65, 70, 170, 170, 170, 170, 170 and 70, jig is 75 and now 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, sold 170 gray. 2. Pretty well sold bull right there. $65 and 65 and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 175 and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, 75 here, sold 172 and a half, hole 7. 6. Looks like a 7 to me. That is right. $72 and a half, 5, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, 175. $50. 2 and a half. 52 and a half. 52 and a half. 52 and a half, 5. 7 and a half. 60. 160. 2 and a half. 5. 5. 7. 167. Sold. 165. Cavernous Bull.
Can't be good if he's out here on a Monday.
Two. Yeah. Two. $150. 2.5, and 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, 55, 57 and a half, 57 and a half, going to be 60, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, going to get 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75 here, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, going to be 80, and 183, 82 and a half, here, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 1, 3, 83, 83, going to be 81, 83, 181, 7. Haven't either. Usually you're just here on Tuesdays. Oh, I know how he feels. $1. $5. Years ago. $5. $5, 110, 15, 20, 125, 30, and 35, 35, 40, 145, 45, you get 50, and 55, 55, 55, 60, and now 60 there, going to be 60 there, going to be 60 here, Chris, 155, 10, X. She was sunburned. Her face was all. Well, she's still crying. Huh? Bring it on.
100. Supposed to be 100 this week.
Bring it on. I'm ready. Bring on the hundreds. Bring on the heat.
Let's not get carried away. Let's not burn everything up.
75. Here's 75. Now 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, 75 there, 75 and a half, and 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, 75, 70, 50 and a half here. So 175 Gibbon Bull. Is it supposed to be 100 this week?
Somewhere. Some places.
Really? $2. 210 and 210 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 go to be 10 and 10 go to be 210 go to get 210 go to be 210 go to be 210 210 220 230 and 230 40 and 240 35 and 35 35 35 to get 35 40 and 240 40 40 to get 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 40 Jerry 235 23. Can't think of that guy's name. 19 here, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, 40, 40, 40, we get 2.5, 45, 45, 45, 43, 41, 2.5, 3, and now 3, 43, we get 3, 42 and a half, 3, and 42 and a half, 3, 4, and 44, 5, and 45 here, 5, we get 5, and 45, 600, and 46, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, and 47, 8, now 9, good 9, we get 9, good 9, bit of 9, 50, and now 50, half 1, and 50, 51, here, another 1, 51, 51, 51, here, 51, 51, 51, here, 1, we get another 1, here, 150, 21. Booker 21, 150. I got you. There you go. 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, come on in, 77 and a half, and 77, and 77, and 77, and 77, so 175, hole 7. 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, going to get 37, going to be 37, going to be 40, and 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, you're both out, 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, Jerry, and 45, 47, 47, 47, 50, and 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, here, the Booker, 147 and a half, 21. 7 and 8 year olds here. 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, going to be 40, and 40, going to get 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 41, and 41, 3, 45, 47, 45, 59, 50, and now 50, 59, 1, and 51, 3, 51, 3, 51, 3, 51, 3, 1, to get 3, 1 to get 3, Chris, 151, nothing. Pregum. 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 40, and 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 47, 47, 47, 45, 6 here, and 45, 46, 46, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and 47, 7, 7, 50, and 50, 50, 50, 59, 50, and 45, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 45, 50, 45, 50, Booker, 149, 21, 149. 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 35, 37, and 37, 37, 37, going to be 40, and 40, 42 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 47, 47, 45, 47, 50, 47 and a half, half and a half here, 47 and a half here, Booker, 145, 11. 145, Booker, 11. 6 by 2 and a 5 by 3. Fall Kevers. 1,500, 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, half and a half here, going to be 16 and a half here, 17, 18, 18, 17 and a half, 18, 18, 19, 2, 1, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 100 here, going to be 21, William Riot, 21, 2, and 21, 2, 3, and 23 together, going to be 23 together, going to be 23 and 3, yeah, William 4, and 24, you get 4, now 5, and 2,500 here, with a 5, you get 5, and 5 here, down 25, William going to be 25, and 24 to 5, you get 5, 600, and 25 going to be 600 here, with a half, 6, 20, 600, William, 2,600, 2,600, 2,600 here, with a 5 and 5, going to be 6, and 2,600 here, with a 5 and 5, you get 6, Chris 3, 25, 50. 45, and 45, 47 and a half, and 45, and 47 and 45, 47 and 45, 47 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 1, and 51, 51, 2, 3, 53, 53, 53, 54, and 54 here, 54, 54, 54, 54, now 53, 54, 53, 54, 53, 54 here, Booker, 153, nothing.
She had a special bond with that speckled bull.
You'd say all the
Could have been.
All bred cows? 10 years old? 4 to 5 months bred. If you need to hold that one open cow, we sure will. I'm going to weigh them, though, guys. 4 and 5 months bred. If you need to hold the one, we will. 135, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 45, 45, and 44, 47 and a half, and 47, 47, 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, good 2 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 and a half. Chris, 150 on 15. Let her go. 120, 2 and a half, and 22 and a half, 5, and 25, 27, going to be 32 and a half, 35, 37, 37, 37, 40, 40, 42 and a half, 45, 47, 47, 52 and a half, 5, and 57, 57, 57, 57, Jerry, and 57, 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, 57, going to be 60. 160. How'd you get out of that? 160. 160. Sold 157 and a half, Chris. 13X. $52 and a half, 52 and a half, 2 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 and a half, 52.50, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 60, and now 60 there, 160, 160, 160, 157 and a half, 21. I got a $55 ticket for getting out of the car and getting their suitcases. Yeah. Just parked less than 5 minutes. $55 ticket this morning. Bastards. Thank you. You'll pay for it?
Yeah, you bet.
2 good little black mott heifers. $1.75. 175.80, 75.80 here, 85, 90, 95, now 2, 5, go to 10, 15, half 15, 20, and 225, 25, 25, 25, 25, now 30, and 2, 30, 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, go to be 3, 35, 5 here, 35 here, Chris, 230, 7X. Apparently you can't get out of your car and get your luggage without get a ticket these days at the airport. Y'all been lately? Bastards. Yeah, 5 minutes. Got out to help my wife get her luggage and $55 ticket. We should get an Uber next time. May not be next time. Yeah, 35, yeah, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 35, 37, 37, 50, yeah, 37, 37, 40, and 40, 40, 40, 1, here, 45, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, 41, here, going to be 41, and 40, 41, here, another 1, here, another 1, here, Chris, 140, 10. 9 years old. She's 7 months bred. 2,000. 2,100. 2,100. 2,200, 2,300, 2,400, 25, 6, 27, and 27, 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 6, 7, 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 6, 7, and 707. Here you're going to be 7 by 7. Here you're going to be 7 by 7. Here you're going to be 27. Chris, 3, 2,600. Nope, 16. My bad, Chris. Most of the time. 6 by 5, Bob. 6 by 4, 6 years, 4 months, 17 and a half, 1750, 17 and a half here, 17 and a half here, 18, 19, 22 and a half 1, and 21, 21, 21, 2, and 22, 3, and 23, 23, 22 and 3, and 22, 50, and 22 and a half, 3, and 23, 23, 23, 23, 23, 2, 3, and 22 and a half, 300, 350, and 23 and a half here, half and a half, 23 and a half here, half. Solder, 2,300. Flying B, 1. 9 by 5. Where she got a bad bag. Daughter, 20. 125. 25. 25. 25. 25. 25. 25. 30. 2 and a half. 35. 37. 37. 40. And 40. 2 and a half. 42 and a half. 42. 55. And 45. 47. 47. 50. And 50. 50. 52 and a half. 52 and a half. 52 and a half. 52 and a half. 55. And 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. 55. Gray. 152 and a half. 5. Lump jaw. Dollar. 105. And 105. Here you go to 105. You get 5. 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 You get 10. You get 15. 21. 25. And 25. 30. You get 30. Now 30. Here 25. You get 35. And 35. 35. 32 and a half. 32 and a half. 5. And 35. 35. 35. 35. 35. You get 5. And half 5. You get 35. You get 35. And half 35. 35. 35. 35. And half 5 here. 35 here. So 32 and a half. Cam is 132 and a half. Eight-year-old, 6 months. What a cow, guys. I'm going to wear. 35. Yeah, 35. 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 40, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 5, 7 and a half, going to get 52 and a half, 2 and a half, 52, 50, and 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, 2 and a half, and 2 and a half here, 2 and a half here, Booker, 160 on 21. 8-year-old, 7 months. 135, 40, 135, 40, and 35, 40, 40, 40, you get 45, 45, 45, you get 45, 50, $50, now 5, 55, 60, now 5, now 70, 170, 70, and 73, 170, 65, 70, 70, now 5, 175, sold 170, flying B1. $2. 210 and 210, bit of a 10, not 210, good to be 210, bit of a 10, good to be 210, not 10, here, good to be 210, 10, 10, 10, 210, and 200, good to be 10, 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 20, 210, 20, Jerry, 210, 22. You want a Prager? Preg. $35, yeah, 35, 35, 35, half, and 37, 37, 35, 37, 37, going to be 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 47, 47, 47, 50, and 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, Booker, 152 and a half, 21. $105 and 105, 105, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 5, get 5, and 10, going to be 110, going to be 110, going to be 110, going to be 120, going to be 110, 20. What about 15? Will that help? 115, now 20, 120, 120, and 20 bid 20 there, going to be 20 bid 20 there, going to be 120, going to be 20. Burns 115.3. She's 8 months. Well, bless her heart. Hugo 2000. We're going to cut her in half. 1,000. 1,100. 10, 1100, and 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 11, 11, 10, 111, 11, 11, 11, 11, 100, 1100, 1100, 1100, 1,000, 11, 12, and 1200, 13, maybe to get third, maybe to get third, maybe to get third, maybe to get fourth, maybe to get fourth, maybe to get 14, 1500, and 15, and 1500 and a half here, what about half? 14 and a half, and 14 and a half here, what about a half here, what about a half here, what about half here, going to be half here, going to be half. Ricardo, 1400. 125, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 27, 25, 27, 25, 27, 50, 27 and a half here, half here, half here, 110 here, 110, 10, 12 and a half here, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17, 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 20 here, 120, now 2 and a half, and 22 and a half here, 5, and 20 and a half, 5 here, D, 122 and a half, 1. $1. 102 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 10. 110, 15, 20, 120, 120, 125, 125. Top pro, you're out. 125, 125. TK, 120. 3.
Gotta raise those show caps.
The last one. $1.50. 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 75, 57, going to be 60, 62 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and to get about 7 and a half, 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 going to be 67 and a half, 67 and a half here, half here, Booker, 165.21. Three-year-old, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, $1, 110, 20, 30, 5, 40, you get 40, now 5, $1.45, now 50, $1.55, 55, and 55, now 55, 60, and 65, now you get about 70, you get 75, now 75, 80, 80, you get 80, 75, go to 85, 85, there, go to 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, Jerry, 180, 22, Preg. $35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, 50, now 40, and 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, going to be 40, now 40 here, you get 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 1, 3, and 41, 3, 41, 3, 43, 5, and 45 here, 7, and 47, 5, going to be 7 here, D, 145, 1. Seven 4. 7 years and 4 months. Long-toed cow. 135, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 35, 37 and a half, and 37, 50 and a half, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 140, now 40, 140, 140, and 40, 40, 40, we get 40, we get 40, we get 42 and a half, 142 and a half, 5, 145, and 42 and a half, we get 45, 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 Ricardo, 142 and a half. 1 year, and she's 4 months pregnant, 1 by 4, $1.50. $1.50, 60, and 70, 80, we get 90, we get 2, going to be 10, going to be 20, we get 30, we got 30, and 220, 30, and 220, 30, going to be 220, 30, 40, and 240, 240, 30, 40, 240, Bob, you're out, 240, 230, 40, and 230, 40, 40, we get 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 Jerry, 230, 22. 1 year old. She's 3 months bred. $2. 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 240, 250, 240, we get 50, 240, we get 50 now, 45, 50. Sold her same way, 245. Jerry, 22. She's already pregged lid.
No preg on this one?
No preg.
I'm bored.
Daughter. 105 and 105. Here, go to 105. Get 5. 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 Outside 5 and 110 and 110. Get 10 and 15. Bit of 10 and 15, 20 and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 20. Now 5 and 25 here. Now 30. Get 30. Get 30. Get 30. Get 30. Get 30. Gray 5. 125.
What a cow. How old is she? Just a 3-year-old.
Look what she's doing for a living, guys. 3,000. 3,100 and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 30, 101 and 3,100 and 3,000. Maybe to get 30. Hold your gate. 3,100. Maybe to get 3,100. Maybe to get 32, 31, 32, 33, 33, 32, 3 and 32. Maybe to get 34 and 34, 35, 3,500, 34 to 5, 3,500 and 34 to 5. Maybe to get 3,500. Maybe to get 3,500. You see the board? 3,500 and 35, 35, 35, 35, 34 to 5 and 35. Maybe to get 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 34. We're going to be 500. 34. We're going to be 500. Maybe to get 500. Now 5. So 3,400. Ricardo.
All that commission you're going to get?
0. No, I got 2 new guys. One guy I got like 27, another guy got like 33. Tell me about it. Yeah. 3,000, I'm going to get 3, and 3,000, I'm going to get 31, and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,100, and 3,000, I'm going to get 3,100, and 3,100, and 3,100, weigh the cow, 125, 130, 125, I'm going to get 30, now 5, now 40, 145, just the cow, 145, 50, $50, $50, now 5, 55, 60, 160, 60, 160, 55, 60, there, going to be 60. Chris, 155, 3X. I'm going to do the same thing here. Tell them outside. Outside, Bobby. Bring me the 3 cows back. Just tell them to go outside. Bring me the 3 cows back. No, you can shut your gate.
Hey, take these.
Is it all the same owner?
And then,
They want the 3 cows.
not going to let you have the opportunity. I'm sorry, though.
3,000?
No, way more than that.
32?
And PO the calves, sell them tomorrow. Just bring me the cows.
Hey, baby, come the cows back and see you in the calves.
And you can pin that. You can pin those 3 calves with that other calf.
And these 3.
One more, one more, one more, one more, one more. Go ahead, take it right now. Please. Go back over here. They ain't got enough help. I think we're good over here.
Why can't Ricardo go help him?
Huh?
Can Ricardo go help him?
Ricardo, you might have to go help him. Will you tell him Ricardo's coming to help him? These are young.
Yep, these are young and they got small kids. I'm going to try to keep these together. 3 and 4-year-olds on the cows.
Nice deal.
2,500, and 25, and 25, and 25, 25, 25, 20, 50, and 25, going to be 6.5, now 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.50, 9, and not a half, 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 and not a half, it get 3, and not a half, it get 3, and not a half, it 3,000, and not a half, it get 31, and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,100, 3,100, and 3,000, 3,100, half 1, and 31, 31, 31, it get 31, it get 31, it get 31, half, and 31 half, 31 half, 31 half, 31 half, 31, 50, now 2, and 32, 50, and 2, and a half, half and a half, you're going to be 30, 250, and 32, and a half, half and a half, here, and 3, and 33, 33, 33, 33 and a half, 33 and a half, 4, and 34 here, 34 and a half, 34 and a half, 34, 5, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 3,500, 3,500, and 3,500, and 35, you got Chris, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, it get 35, it get 35, it get 35, going to be 34 and a half, it get 5, 3,500, and 35, it get 3,500, I sold them 34 and a half, Manny.
Goodbye.
Yes, sir. Yes, Bob, please. $3,000 and 31 and 31 31 31 31 32 33 33 34 34 34 and a half 34 and a half 34 and a half 34 and a half 30 and a half 5 and 3,500 and 3,500 if you get 3,500 if you get 3,500 if you get 3,500 if you get 3,500 and 35 and half 5 here you're going to be 35 35 35 and 35 if you get 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 35 4 and a half if you get 3,500 same way 34 and a half. Five to 7 years old. 3,000, I'm going to get 31, and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 50, and 31, 50, 31, and a half here, half here, half here, 31, half, 31, half, 31, half here, 2,500, 25 and a half, 25 and a half, 6, now half, now 7, 2,700, and 27, and 7, 7, 7, 700, going to be 2,700, and 20, 700, half, and 27 and a half, 800, and 2,800, 28, 20, 28, and 20 now 800, and 2,800 here, 800 here, Yacht William 2,800, and 2,800 here, 28, 28, 28, 28 here, going to be 8 here, going to be 8. Sold them 27.50 MW. 5 and 6 years old. They're 6 and 7 months bred. 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 21, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 3, and 22, 3, 4, and 24, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 2,500 and a half, and 25 and a half, going to be 6 and a half, and 6 and a half, here's 7, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, going to be 27.50, you get 27 and a half, here, half, here, bit of a half, here, going to be 27 and a half, now wait, and 2,800, and 2,800, here, 28, 28, 20, here, going to be 2,800, and 2,800, here, 28, and 20, so 27 and a half, Chris 3. We're going to have 10,000 this week. Bet you I'm closer than you think. Old cows are 5, 6 months bred. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, half here, half and a half, 15 and a half here, half here now, 1,600, and 1,600, and 1,600 and a half here, 17, half, 17 and a half, and 17 and a half here, half here, but with half here, going to be 17 and a half, 1,750, and 17 and a half here, half here, 17 and a half here, McGee, 1,700, McGee, Jared McGee, Bobby.
Baby with a baby.
2,000 on a 2-year-old family right there, here 2, and 2,000 here, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2, and 3, 24, 24, 25, 25, 25, 24, 5, and 24, 5, and 25 here, 25, 25, 25, 25, 5, 6, 7, and 6, 7, and 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, going to be 28, and 9, and 9, 3, and 1, and 31, 32, and 31, 2, 31, bit 2, and 3,200 here, 1, 2 here, online, going to be 3,200, and 31, 200 here, 31, 2, 31, 2, 3,100 2. Hike 3,100 on 1.
6. Who is this? Holy.
Ask this. See if he'll answer and see if he might be interested in some of these pairs.
No, he wants a full version.
Yeah, but just tell him what we got in the ring. All right, guys, we're working on Joe Oleg's good pairs. Are 5, they're 6, 7 years old. I think I see maybe 1 7-year-old on the deal. What a set of calves out their side right there. 3,000 here, 1, and 31, and 31, and 31, 32, and 33, 4, and 34, 35, and 34, 34, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 50, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, going to be 35, 50, and 35, 50, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 600, and 35, going to be 600, and 35, going to be 600, and 3,600, and 3,600 here, going to be 3,600, and 35 going to be 600, 5 going to be 6, and 3,600, and 35 going to be 600, 35 going to be 3,600, 5 6. Sold them 35.50. JH. 2-year-old pair here, 2,000, and 2,100, and 2,100, 21, 21, 21, 21, 22, and 25, 22, 21, 23, and 23, 23, 24, 24, 25 here, 25, 600, and 25, 50, and 25 and a half here, 5, 600, and 2,600 here, 5 going to be 6 and a half, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 700 here, 2,700, and 27, and 7, and 7, and 7, going to be 2,700, 27, going to be 107 here, going to be 7. Half. 27 and a half. Now 8. Now half. Now 9. 2,900. 2,900. Hike 28 and a half. 1. VV. 5 to 6 year old pairs here, boys. They're here working on the Double V Ranch. 5 and 6 year old. Good little coupons at the side. And 2,500 and 25. And 25.50. And 25 and a half here. 5 and a half. 25 and a half. Going to be 600 and 26 and a half here. Now 7 and 27 and a half. 7 and a half. Going to be 28 and a half. Now 9 and a half. Going to be 25. Going to be 25. Going to be 25. Going to be 2,900 and 9 and 29, 29, 29, 29, 29, 29, 29, 29, 29, 29, 29. Answer to that. And 29.50 and 9.5 and 9.5. 9.5. 9.5. 9.5. 3 and 3,000. 3 and 9.5. 3 and 9.5. 3 and 9.5. 3,000. Now 1 and 31 and 31, 31, 31, 31, 30. Half. What about 30, 50? 30, 50. Now 1. 3,100 and 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31. Yeah, William. 3,100. 3,100 and 3, 1 and 3,100. 3,100. 3,100. 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,100 and 3,100. 31, 31, 31, 31, 3,100. Half. 31 and a half. 31 and a half. 31 and a half. 31 and a half. 31.50. 31.50. Now 2. 32 and 32, going to be 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 3,200. 3,200, William out. 3,200. 32, going to be 2. 32, going to be 2, and 3,200, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, and a half. 32 and a half. 32.50. 32 and a half. He's on the phone. Give him time. 32 and a half. 32.50. 30, 250, 32 and a half, and 30, 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 3, and 33 here, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, and 33, William, 3,300, 33, 3, and 33, 33, 33, 33, now 33, William, and 3,300, 33, 33, 33, 3, and 33, 3, 3,300, 33, 3, 3,300, now 3, so 32 and a half, Terry 5. Thank you, everybody. Robbed. 3,000. 3. Here's how old are these cows? 7 and 8 year olds here. 2,500. 25. Yeah, 25.50. And 25 of the van. Going to be 25 of the van. 5 of the van. 5 of the van. 5 of the van. Going to be 25 of the van. Going to be 25 of the van. Going to be 25.50. 600 and 26 and a half. And a half here. Half and a half. 26 and a half here. Half here. Half here and a half. And 7 and 27.50. And now 800 here. 8 and a half. 9 and 9. 9. Going to be 2,900. And now 9. 9. 29. Going to be 9 and a half. 9 and a half. 9 and a half. 3 and 9 and a half. 3 out of here. 3 and 3,000. 3,000. 3,000. Going to be 3,000. 3,000. 3 and not a half. 3 and not a half. 3,000. 3 and not a half. 3. Flying B. 29.50 on number 5. Here's ones that has not dominoed just yet. 6, 7, 8 year old cows, and they are heavy bred, ain't they? Boys, I'm gonna call them 5 to 6 years old. They're 5 and 6 years old. They're heavy bred. 2,000, 20, 100, and 21, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2 and a half, 22 and a half, 23, 23 and a half, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 25, 50, and 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 600, and 25 and a half, going to be 6 and a half, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7 and a half, 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 going to be 27.50, William, 27.50, 27.50, and 27 and a half, here, Rackley out, 27 and a half, and 27.50, William, and 27 and a half, here, half and a half, here, going to be 27.50, and 27 and a half, here, half and a half here, half here, but with half here, half. Terry, 2,700 on 6. Two-year-old family right there, not 2, and 2,000, and 2,000, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2, and 2, 3, and 23, 4, and 24, 5, and 25, 6, 7, and 7, now, hey, now, high, 3, 3, and 25, 3, and 25, 3, and 25, 3, and 3,000, 3,000, 29, and 3,000, going to be 3,000, 25, 3, 29, 3, and 29, 3,000, 3, and 25, 3, hike, 2,900 on 1. What did Zach say? Going back.
He was in. I got him.
Cantrell.
How many you seen here?
9-year-old, 2,000. She's bred. She bring 23.50, and she's got a good live calf at side. 2,000.
Yes.
2100, 2100, 2200, 2300, 2400, 2500, 2600, 2600. Rackley, 2500. Rackley. They're both 4-year-olds. Both open. 32 and a half. 3,500. 37 and a half. 37.50. 4,000. 4,000, able to get 4, and 4,000, able to get 4,000, able to get 4,000, able to get 4,000, able to get 4,000, going to be 4, and 4,000, yeah, 4,000, 4,000, able to get 4, now 4,000, able to get 4, and 4,000, able to get 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 4,000, going to be 4. Sold them 37 and a half. Chris 8. Good pairs, Chris. $37.50. How much?
On the money.
Yeah. 2,500. You bidding? 2,600. 7, 8, 9, 2,900. 20, going to be 900, and 28, 9, and 20, going to be 900, 2,900, going to be 20, going to be 29, going to be 29, going to be 29, going to be 900, 20, going to be 9, sold her, 2,800, Chris 7.
No. Just how they're pinned. Start with the good ones and then the two little, the gray one and the black one. Yep. Right.
It's a reference number, not an invoice number. Kiff time, Jack. So much times 3. 300, 350, 350, and 3.5, to get 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 400, 4.5, 4.5, to get 585, going to be 600 and a half, and 7, and 7.5, 7.5, going to be 800 and a half, 8.5, 8.5, 850, 850, 850, 850, 50 and a half, 8.5, you guys are all out there, live audience is out, 850, 850, 850, 50 and a half, 8.5, 850, 50, 50 and a half, 8.5, Kevin Peck, 800. Here's the boys. 500, 550, and 505, going to be 650, and 50, 50, and 700, and 700, going to be 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 850, 850, 50, and a half, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, going to be 8 and a half, going to be 8 and a half, going to be 850, 850, 850, 50, and a half, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, you guys all are out up there. You're all out. 850, 850, 850, 50, and a half, 8 and a half, Kevin Peck, 800. So the little black one. He's a little bull calf, 300. 350, and 350, 3.5, to get 3.5, to get 3.5, to get 3.5, to get 350, 350. Sell the little black one, guys. 350, 350, 4, 4.5, 5, half, 6, half, 7, half, 7.5. Kevin, you're out. 7.5, 800. 800. Are you sure? 800. Sold. 750 Kevin Peck. Sell the white one. 100. $100 bill. 100 on the white one. 100. I got it. 150. 150. Sold. $100. Kevin Peck. Attaboy, Kevin got that average on down there. Same way. That one make more money than all of them combined. Same way, Lynn. Black nose shar. Might be about 20, 30 till he gets them sold. Robbie, got $2 in your hand? Okay. $75. Yeah, 75, 77, 77, group of 82 and a half, 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 87, 87, 90, and 190, group of 90, group of 90, group of 90, group of 90, group of 190, group of 90, 2 and a half, and 92, 50, and 90, 2 and a half, group of 90, 2 and a half, group of 192 and a half, here's all 190, Gibbon Bull. 75, yeah, 75, 75, 75, 75, 77, 77, group of 82 and a half here, 82, 55, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 90, and 90 here, Antone, spin your stock, 190, and 90 here, 190, 190, 190, 190, 90 here, 250, and 91, and 90, 91 here, 91, 91, 91, 91 here, 191, 91, 91, 92, and 92, and 92, 23, and 93, and 93, so 192, hole 7. Yep. There's been times I sure have needed it. Young Bull, $2. 2.5, and 2.5, 5 here, $5 here, $50, 60, and 50, 60, and 60, 150, 60, 70, 80, 5, 90, 90, 90, 90, and 90, 190, 85, 95, and 95, 95, now 2, and 95 and 2, 95, 2, S, 195, 11. No, S11. 75, 75, 77, 77, 77, group of 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82, 50, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 5, 85, 85, 87, group of 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 half, sort of 185, Gibbon Boo. How many we got left?
I have no idea. These are coming out of the sea alley, I bet. Antone, are they bringing these bulls from the way back? Yeah.
$75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, group 175, and 75 here, 75 there, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 175, 175, 175, 170, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 177.50. S, 175, 16. 65. Has a good about, has a good about 7.5, 72.5, 72.5, 5, and 77.5, 77.5, 77, 50, and 77, and now 80, and now 83, 8, now 9, and now 9, group 9, group 9, group 78, and now 9, daughter, group 9, 3, group 9, daughter, group 9, 3, group 9, sold, 178, whole. 7.
Oh, yeah.
They got those ready over there.
Yes, to answer your question, Kevin. I'm sorry, I'm just now looking at it. Yes, you did. I believe you got them all. Got more? Got more, Kevs? Oh, we got some little light more tomorrow, Kevin.
But I'm sure there's more calves, probably.
65. Has a good about, has a good about, 7.5, 70, and 70, we get 2.5, 75, 75, 75, you get 5, 750, and 77.5, 80, and now 83, 80, good to be 8, now 9, good to be 8, now 9, good to be 9, good to be 89, good to be 85, good to be 89, good to be 80, and 79, good to be 80, and you give 80, they want 81, 81, 2, 83, 83, we get 3, 3, 4, 84, 84, 83, we get 4, whole 7, 183. 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 77, 77, good to be 80, then 2.5, 85, 85, 85, 87, 57, 57, 57, good to be 86, 85, 6, 86, 7, 87, 87, 87, now hey, 88, 89, 89, good to be 9, good to be 9, 90, and 90, and 91, and 90, 91, 91, 91, 91, 91, 91, sold, 190, whole 7. 191, and 91, and 91, 91, 91, 91, 91, 2, and 93, 3, and 93, 3, and 93, 4, and 94, 95, 95, 600, and 96, 96, 7, and 97, 97, 97, 97, 98, 98, 99, 99, 99, 99, now 2, 99, 2, now 1. 202, 203, 202, 3, and 202, 202, given bull, 202. 85, $85 profit. You're going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, $85 you're going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 81, 82, 81, 2, 82, 3, 82, 3, 4, 84, 5, 85, 86, 85, 86, 85, 86, 7, 87, 88, 88, and a half, so 187, whole 7.
That some bitch ain't had nothing to eat for about 4 days.
65. Has a good about, has a good about, 7, 72 and a half, 75, 75, 75, 77 and a half, and 80, and now 83, 80, now 80, and now 83, 177 and a half on 16. Sorry, Trev. $65. Has a good about, has a good about, 7, 70, 70, and 2.5, 72 and a half, 5, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, good to be 175, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, whole, 72 and a half, 7.
What? several odds.
75, and 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 70, 75, 70, 75, 70, 75, 70, 50, 80, and now 80 there, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 5, 85, 85, 87, 87, 87, 85, 87, 85, 87 and a half, sold, 185, hole 7. 65, 65, 5, 65, 7 and 70, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72, 50, and 72 and a half, 72 and 5, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75 here, so 172 and a half, hole 7. 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, and 35, 40, and 35, 40, 40, 40, 45, 45, 50, and 5, and 55, 55, 60, and now 60 here, 57, about 60, 160, 160, it's 60 there, 160 here, 60 here, gray, 157 and a half on 2. 120, 125, 25 here, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 30, and 25, 30, and 25, 30, 25, 35, and 35, 40, 40, 40, 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42, 50, and 40, 2 and a half, 40, 2 and 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 here, D, 140, 2 and a half, 1. You lost? Big time. Here is one good rip, guys. She's a 2-year-old. She is 2 by 3. 2,000. 20, 100, 21, 20, 21, 21, 21, 21, 100, 21, 21, outside 1, 2, and 2, 3, 4, and 24, 25, and 2,500 here, 5, 25, yeah, William, 25, 600, and 26, 7, and 7, 7, 7, 7, yeah, William, 2,700, and 27, 7, 7, halfway, and 2,800 here, 9, and down high, going to be 29, going to be 29, going to be 29, going to be 29, William, and 20, going to be 9, going to be 20, 900, going to be 20, 9, going to be 20, 9, 20, 2,900. Chris 3, 2,800. She's a 3-year-old. She's 8 months bred. 1,500. 15 and a half, 16, half, 17, half, and 18, half, 19, half, going to be 2,000, going to be 2, 2,000, and 2,000 here, 1, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21 and a half, and 21 and a half here, 2, and 2,200 here, half here, now 3, and 23 and a half, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 2,500 and a half, 2,550, 2,550, yeah, 25 and a half here, 5 and a half, going to be 2,600, 26 and a half. 26 and a half, 26.50 William Route, 26 and a half, 26 and a half here, half here, half here, going to be half, so 2,600, Chris 3. What's her story? 4-year-old daughter. 105, and 105 here, go to 105, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, and 10, go to be 10, 20, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 70, and 70, and 71, 71, 70, 160, 70, and 70, 170, 170, hike, 160 on 5. You already done? 20 on cows? Any more baby calves? No more baby calves if you're asking online. No more baby calves, just about 20 cows left. What do you got here? 2 by 8, 2,000. 20, 100, 21, 25, 20, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2, 3, 22, 3, 23, 4, 24, 25, 25, going to be 6, 7, and 27, 8, 27, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, now 9, 29, now 3, 29, 3, 29, 3, 29, 3,000, going to be 29, 3, yeah, William, 3,000, going to be 3, 29, 3, and 29, 3,000, going to be 29, 3,000, 29, 3, sold her, 2,900. What's the name? Evan? Evan P. Gotcha. B as in B. Bravo. Gotcha. Thank you, Evan. Ricardo, is that last one yours? Is that last one yours? I thought so. What? You don't need to wait. We'll just make something up. 10.50. Yeah. Shit, lid. Yeah, 10.50. What do you got here? Dollar, 105, 105 here, 105, 95, 10, good to be 10, 15, 21, 25, 25, 30, we get 35, 35, 40, 145, 45, 50, and 50, at 145, we get 50, we get 50, we get 45, we get 50, 45, we get 50, 45, we get 50 here, great, 145, 5. Curly-toed cow. No. No. I didn't see him either. Yeah. Whew. 35. 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 40, 40, we get 2.5, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 50, 52 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, we get 5, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, want to do it? 55. Solder, 152 and a half, Chris, 10. $25, 27.50, and 27 going to be 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, going to be 40, we get 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, and 45, 47 and a half, 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 50, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 55, 55, 55 and a half, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, Jigga 5 here, Cavness, 152 and a half. Little 5-year-old cow, 35, 35, 40, 35, 40, 40, 40, we get 40, 10, 40, 35, we get 40, 35, going to be 45 here, 45, 50, and 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 70, 170, and 65, 75, and 75, 80, 80, you give 80, 75, go to 80, 75, go to 80, 75, go to 80, flying B, 175, 3. Hello, Mark. 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37 and a half, and 30, we get 7, 40, and 40, we get 2 and a 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, you get 5, 45 and a half, 5, and 45, we get 45, we get 45, we get 45, we get 45, 47 and a half, 47.50, Chris, 145, 10. Six-year-old cow, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, we get 35, we get 35, we get 35, we get 35, going to be 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, we get 35, we get 35 here, 120, 125, now 30, now 5, now 30, now 5, now 32 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, 37.50, 40, 140, now 5, 145, Jason Yacht, 145, 145, 50, 150, William, 150. 150, now 5, 155, 155, sold, 150, flying B, 3. Say it again. 3 years and 4 months on this cow, 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, have and a half here, have and a half, 15, 50 and a half here, 16, have, 17, have, 18, have, 19, half, and 19, 50, and 19 and a half here, 2,000 here, 1, and 21, 21, 21, 2, and 2,200 here, 1, to get 2, 21, 2, 3, and 23, to get 3, 4, and 2,400 here, 4, 3, 24, 23, now 4, William, 2,400, and 24, going to be 24, to get 24, gonna be 24, gonna be 24 William, and 2400 here, 3.5, 400 now, 4 here, you're gonna get 4. Chris, 2300 on 3. 8-year-old cow here. 35. Yeah, 35. 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, 40. And 40, 40, 40, going to get 42 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 42 and a half here. So 140 on Booker. 21. She young. 10-year-old, 25. And 25, and 25, 27, and 27, and 27, and 27, going to be 27, 50. And 20, going to be 7, going to be 20, going to be 7, going to be 32 and a half, 35, 37, and 37, and 37, going to be 37, going to be 40. Now 40. 140 and 40, 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half here, 42, 50 here, cabinets, 140. Nothing. 25, 25, 25, 25, 27, 25, 27, going to be 27, going to be 32 and a half, 35, 37, 40, $1, 40, 40, 40, going to get 40, going to get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 5, and 45, going to get 47, 47, 47, 45, 750, 47 and a half here, 47 and a half here, 50, 2 and a half. Sold, 150. Chris, 13. X. 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37 and a half, 40, and 2 and a half, and 42 and a half, 41, and 40, 41, 2, 41, 2, 41, going to get 2, 41, going to get 2, 41, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 2. S, 141, 4. $125, 25, and 25, 25, 30, and 45, to get 35, to get 35, to get 40, to get 40, to get 40, to 5, to get 45, to get 45, 50, and 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, going to be 155, and 50 and 5 here, 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, to 5 here. Chris, 150, 3X. $6 years and 5 months. Dollar pound at 105 and 105 here. Going to be 105. Going to be 110 and 15, 21, 21, 25. Going to be 125. Going to be 125. Going to be 125. Going to be 125. Now 30. 130. Now 5. Now 40. Now 5. Now 50. $1.50. $1.50, Jason. $1.55. $1.55. $1.60 a pound. $1.60. Now 5. $1.65. 165, 70, $1.70, $1.70. Sold, 165. That might be the highlight of the day right there. Terry on 7. 2-year-old, $2. 25, and 25, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, and 10, go to 15, 20, 225, go to 225, to get 30, 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, to get 35, go to 235, and 35 here, 5 here, 5 and 5 here, sold her 230. Chris, 7X. We ever get those yard out? Antone. How many tomorrow, Antone? Lot? I got a bunch for Wednesday. We got a bunch in. You're gonna bring one? Oh, I got one. A bunch of them are. Got a few little deals for tomorrow. Probably not small enough to go to your alley. Or I'd let you know. That'd be all right by me. 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, here, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, 50, 37, going to be 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, going to be 40, Cavus, 137 and a half. Three-year-old cow, $1.20. 125, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 45, 30, 45, 50, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 60 here now, 55, 60 there, 65, and 70, 170, 5, 70, 5, 70, yes, 165, 21. $35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, now 50, and 2 and a half, 2 and a half, 5, and 55, 57, 57, 60, it's 60 there, 160, 160, Chris 10, 157.50. 2 years and she's 5 months. He'll get 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half, half here, half and a half here, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17, half, 18, 18 and a half, 18, 50, 50 and a half here, 18 and a half, 19, and 1900, and 19, 19, 19, 75, 1900, 19 and a half. 1950, 19 and a half here, half here, you're going to be 1950, now 2,000, now half. Sold 2,000. Hike $1. Heavy breather. $5 and $105. You're going to be 105. You get 5. 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 105. 10. 110. 15. 110, 15, 110, we get 15, and 10 and 15, here, 110, 15, here, S, 110, 1. $105 and $105. You got 105 and 5 and 10. You're going to be 10. You're going to get 15. You're going to be 20. You're going to get 5 and 25. You're going to get 30. 130 and 25. 30 and 25. You're going to be 35. You're going to get 35. 40 and 35. 40. 40. 40. You're going to get 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 40. So 135. Gray 5. $125, and 25, and 25, 25, 25, 27, and 27, and 27, 50, and 20, 57, going to be 20, 57, and 27, going to be 30, and 2 and a half, 32 and a half, 5, and 35, 37, 37, going to be 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, going to be 40, but that 40, 2 and a half, 45, 145, and 45, 5, 45, 45, 45, S, 142 and a half, 4. 9 years, 7 months, $1,000. 10, 1100, 10, 11, 10, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12, 1150, 11 of half, now 12, no half, 13, half, 14, half, 15 a half, 16, 17, 17, 18, 1800, 19, 2. 2,000, I'm going to get 2. 19, going to be 2. And 2,000, and 2,000, going to be 2, 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 going to be 2,000, I'm going to get 2. 1, 21, Paul, 2,100. 2,100, 2,100, Paul, you're out. 2,100 and 2,100 here. 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here. Rackley, $2,000. Rackley. You like her? Mr. Rackley, the Mexican cartel's bragging on your cow. Yeah, they are. Ooh, got bit by a skunk. Dollar. 105 and 105, 105, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, and 10, going to be 10, going to be 15, and 10 and 15, 1, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 30, and 25, 30, 5, 30, 5, 30. Cavernous, 125.3. We got a few cows on that side. Yes, sir. Y'all didn't miss any freaking cows this week, did you? You didn't miss any cows back here this week, did you? I made him. I said, hey, call Lydia and see if she wasn't coming back.
I know.
I said, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, that's why I didn't leave it on speaker.
Yeah. 125. 125, 25, 27, 50, and 20, 57, going to be 27, going to be 30, 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 got robbed 2.5, 32 and a half, 5, 7.5, now 40, 140, 2.5, 41, and 41, 2, and 41, 2, 42, 41, 42, and 42, going to be 2, 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 Chris, 141, 13X. You guys have a good afternoon. We'll do it again tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the a.m. See you guys.